Daddy has to do an intro. Okay, we're back at HD Automotive for what is hopefully the last TD42 tuning episode. If you saw last time's episode here, we had some dramas. Not dramas, we had excellent results that meant that we had to come back with a new turbo. I don't know, it's all very hard to explain, but today is the day. Last time we had 230 horsepower before we pulled the old turbo off.
Turbo's off.
Decided to go bigger. We have now fitted that turbo. We have dropped the run-in oil. We've got new filters on this thing. Fingers crossed today is the day we hit that 270 plus horsepower mark. This is us finally TD42 tuning this GQ. Let's go. Okay, now before we dive back into dyno tuning, hitting some power runs and hopefully getting that 270 magical horsepower, we're going to talk about expectations, target boost, and a whole bunch of other bits and pieces. So we've just crunched the numbers. We don't have the tacho working just yet. So
ChatGPT is our tacho. We asked ChatGPT to give us a engine speed based on tire size, diff ratio, and gear 1:1 fourth. What measured out at a 33.5 inch diameter and diff ratio 4.3.
Yep.
So that gave us 2680. So we just got to set the dyno up, derived RPM based on that information at 100 k's an hour.
Hells yeah. Since you guys sort of last checked in on the YouTube, we have done a couple of bits and pieces. Year 5 sent us out that new turbo, so really keen to get that run up and see what it does. We have drained the run-in oil. We've got our just regular, the oil that this thing will run for the rest of its life. We've got 2 brand new filters. Gave it a full check over. It's got fresh water. It's got everything. Something that we noticed is that we actually had the wrong dipstick in there, Hayden, which was, yeah. But anyway, not that it mattered because we put the right amount of oil in there because...
How'd you figure that out? What
so, here's the thinking, right? Because we went to check the oil just before with the dipstick that we had and it was like nothing was making sense. We put the appropriate amount of oil in here. It should be right on the dipstick and it wasn't. We went out and checked Brody's recently blown up TD. 2 different dipsticks.
TDs don't blow up, man. That's random. What the hell?
Unheard of.
That never happens.
Clip of Brody's window block here. Anyway, so we got the right dipstick in, we got the right amount of oil, 2 new filters, new water, everything. Basically gave it a look over, and I think now it's time to party.
Cool, man.
Okay. How much boost?
35.
35 pound of boost. We should see 270 at the tyres.
That's it.
As simple as that. I'm super keen. Let's run it up and see. It should be up to temperature. Let's go. Set her up, let's party. Take all the shims out of the pump, let it eat. Any good?
Good start, for sure.
What do you reckon it'll do? It should do 270. Nice.
JJ is
turning his fingers to liquid right now.
JJ is doing a liquid nails conversion to his hands. We've got a couple things going on, all part of tuning. Pump is working so well. We're rolling in from 1300 RPM at 15 to 1 flat, which is great. That's exactly what we want. It's got heaps of fuel control down low. Comes under boost. It is, because we're using a boost controller and that gate's set to 18 pound, we want 35. We're kind of asking a lot of it. So it's coming up and hitting 35 pound and it's tapering out a little bit up top. So to take a bit less work off the boost controller and put a bit more work into the turbo, we are increasing a little bit of the preload on the wastegate itself. So there's a bit more tension on the actual wastegate flapper so that the boost controller has to do a bit less work and the turbo itself is going to do a bit extra work. Just to dial in that boost, because as I said, we want to see 35, we want to see it hold 35. There could be an explosion at any point.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. I mean, thus far, we would have done 242 horsepower and 700 and many torque.
It was doing about 780 newton meters. So it's actually interesting because we got that boost we want at, it's got peak torque at 1900 RPM at the moment, and that's where it's making that 780 newton meters of torque. But that's where we have that 35 pound. We want to hold that boost for longer.
Yeah.
And because the turbo can support it, we're going to put a bit more preload on the wastegate, basically.
See what happens.
JJ has his techniques. There he goes, as you saw there.
What a man.
JJ is using our air compressor nozzle, air nozzle down the wastegate hose to pressurize the wastegate actuator outward.
I'm lost for words.
It's holding together well. It sounds so smooth.
It's
so
really
smooth.
nice compared to every other. I still can't believe we don't have glow plug hooked up. Like, came in this morning, first start of the day, 10 degrees, starts.
Are you ready for that? Can you
Tough.
turn the boost down a bit? Sweet. See what happens. Turn the fan on.
$253. Round up to 254, and then
Add 10 for the tires.
and then add 10 for the tires, and then because it's kind of warm today, we could probably deduce that there's at least 20 missing that it should have. So what we've ended up with a 420 horsepower. I don't know if you can hear this, but things are happening. We're going horsepower hunting. We don't really know why it's not doing the full 270. The recipe is there, but it has done 260. Now we're just trying to get the horsepower and the torque to be symbiotically in love. Playing with like pump timing and boost between 30 and 36 pounds. Done? 265.
You can't make 267. It makes 267 horsepower.
Yeah.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah, turn him off.
Today we're done. Horsepower hunting, all done. We hunted out 267 of them, rounded them up, cracked our whip.
Horsepower, man. So it was smooth sailing.
Yeah,
In terms of
it was smooth sailing on a day that is quite honestly been very chaotic.
Yeah.
We are already it's like if you just had one thing to do today and it was this car, it'd be pretty like peaceful. But
Yeah.
unfortunately today we've had a lot of things to do. So
Many things.
many things. So overall, put on the dyno, had it all ready to rock and roll. It was doing base run went 245 horsepower, and I think it was like 650 newton meters around there. So that was just as the pump was. That got us to a pretty happy place to start kicking off with some changes. So first change we made, because we saw we were losing a little bit of boost in the top end. There's lots of different reasons for that to be happening. It can be lack of preload on the wastegate. It could be the way the head flows. It could be the way the valves are. It could be a heap of different things. If it is aftermarket head, if there's anything like that, it could be a reason, but either way, we solved it by adding a bit of extra preload to the wastegate. We obviously fitted a boost controller, mechanical boost controller, and then we hit our 35 PSI target.
Yep.
We're seeing that at 2,000 RPM,
Yeah.
and it is tapering out to about 28 PSI by 3,700 RPM. So a natural kind of drop off of boost that we would see in any performance diesel engine running a heap of boost. So
Yeah.
after we had found our happy place with boost, we wanted to see if we could get it on any sooner or hold boost on any longer by rotating and adjusting some of the injection pump timing. So where we had it, the old 10 mil away from the intake manifold trick, it started fine, ran fine, was making power fine, but we're chasing optimal results here. So We took it 2 mil further out from the block on a TD42. That will advance the timing a little bit. When we did that, we did actually drop 1 PSI boost. So we found that, you know, we're losing boost pressure. So we didn't pick up, we picked up torque, but we didn't pick up like any huge amount of power or anything. And we just got a richer AFR with a bit less boost. So brought that timing back to where it was. And pretty much finished up by taking 2 of the 4 shims out of the pump. So now it has 2 shims left. And now it makes 267 horsepower and 762 newton meters of torque at the rear wheels on 35-inch Maxxis tires.
Yeah, big, heavy tires, bead locks. I think it's important to remember that. Like a lot of people, and even myself previously, when we were tuning the HDT 80, not here, we had tiny little tires on the back of it to get a more, like a bigger number. So to have it tuned up to, you know, call it 270. It's 270. Give or take 2 horsepower on a bad day is nothing.
If we let the temperature drop down a bit, it'd probably do it.
I mean, you look at the torque curve. I mean, it's so responsive.
Should we have a look at that?
Yeah, like, come over here. We'll run you through it. Because
listen.
Big FTE boys out there might probably go, ugh, my car's way sicker. For a TD, I think to have a torque curve like that and be sort of pretty responsive how it is, like we've seen in the videos that you would have seen, like that's pretty impressive, I think. The UFI gear's working very well.
I love it. This is obviously our dyno sheet. I love the way it looks. We're starting the run from 50 kilometers an hour at 1500 RPM. We're finishing up at 3600 RPM at 120 Ks an hour. So the thing is, everyone's got an opinion about a dyno run, dyno sheets, dyno this, dyno that, AFR's this, AFR that. This is all done at wide open throttle. So I don't know, if you tell me this is too rich at wide open throttle because you think that driving around at 17 to 1 is gonna blow your shit up, then you're wrong. Because how often do you drive foot flat to the floor? Anyway, so we're bringing this thing on from 1500 RPM, holding it flat at 15 to 1. We just dip into those 14s for a second and we are making 762 newton meters of torque. We're running this thing at 17.5, 18 to 1, pretty well flat from 2000 RPM onwards. That is with 35 pounder boost. As I said, tapering out to about 28 PSI up top. We're finishing the run up at 2600 RPM because really TD42s don't really have the airflow to support much more than that on a single turbo and a pump. So
no, I think I can't wait to see how this thing drives. I think it's perfect for what we're building it for, right? Which is driving really nicely off-road.
It's done, mate.
Yeah, well done, bro. It's not easy, but we got there. Big shout out to UFI as well, who helped us very much with some tips and tricks along the way, this whole build, and provided us an extremely nicely working turbo and a pump that needed nothing pretty much out of the box, just ready to go. Next up in the journey of this GQ, we've got a lot of things left to do. As you can probably tell, we need snorkels, airboxes, intake pipes. We need Superior to finish their bits and pieces. We need to do some wiring. We need to do some 12 volt, some camping fit out, some lighting. And then I reckon we get away somewhere on a trip, maybe with Hayden, in case everything goes wrong.
Maybe with a turbo 1FZ, my own turbo 1FZ.
I like it, the rummage bus lives on. Anyways, hopefully you've liked this episode. If you have, make sure you subscribe. If you have any performance-related turbo diesel tuning questions or need any parts, hit up HD Automotive. You'd be silly not to. And as always, we'll see you next Thursday. Bye.